Welcome to the Great Girlfriends podcast, where we discuss life, love, laughter, and every single thing in between. I'm your host, Sybil Amuti.
And I'm excited as usual to bring to you this week's episode.
So jump right into this week's episode. And after you do, head over to iTunes and leave us an amazing review. That's how other great girlfriends know the quality of the content that we provide each week. Enjoy.
Oh, I'm so excited. Grab up your great girlfriends to join us. I've got Angela Holton coming on to talk about conscious dating. And it's going to be a really good conversation because let me tell you something. I don't know anything about dating. I mean, outside of my marriage, just saying. But Angela is out here coaching women into the most amazing relationships they could have.
Hi.
Oh my God. If I could kiss the screen, I would. Hey. Mwah.
That's the best we can do for now.
How are you?
I'm doing really well. How are you?
I'm so good. How's everything in Denver?
You know what? I mean, it's tragedy around us. I know a couple people that have lost family members to COVID, but, all is well with my family and we're safe and I'm grateful for that. I see God's grace and blessings every day, but my heart goes out to those that are, struggling, that are dealing with grief and loss.
Yeah. It's a lot right now, Angela. It's heavy. We were just having a conversation. Our last conversation was about just being gracious with your great girlfriends because people are processing differently and we don't get to control that, right?
Exactly. All right. Can you see me okay? I'm good?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Yes.
Yeah. How are you and your family doing?
Good. I mean, we're in the house just, handling life, but everybody's doing good. I can't complain.
Yeah. I mean, we can't complain. I listened to some of your live with your first, Latoya.
Yeah.
And you're talking about having the kids at home and sort of the pros and cons to them being at home. Kids are not going to want to go back to school, but some of them are. Some miss their friends though. They really miss that.
Yeah. They say, mine have said it for 5 minutes. Like, I miss mine. And they're like, actually, I'm good. This flex schedule. They like this whole do your work in 4 hours and be done experience.
Yeah.
I don't know what the fall's going to look like. We're just taking it day by day.
Yeah. Would you send your kids to school right now in the fall? Like based on what you know and sort of the projection, do you feel?
We would be on break. We would definitely be looking at home solutions
homeschooling
right now. Yeah. I don't know. I don't have the ease that I
know.
Need to be like, go have a good day. None of that.
Yeah. I mean, and then it's just this unknown, right? That's just around this virus that we can't see. It's intangible, right? So you don't know. And to imagine your kids out in that, or even just any of us, our loved ones, it's just...
No, thank you.
Yeah. Right? To keep it safe, so...
Angela, are people dating right now?
I am. I don't know about everybody else, but no.
Yes.
Absolutely.
They are.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes.
Is this a good time to get into dating and...
It's the best time. I think it is absolutely the best time because this is the time where relationships can be cultivated on things that are more meaningful than the instant gratification of going out to spend money and having fun. And sometimes fun and the physicality of relationships can sort of delude us or confuse us into thinking that there's more than there really is, or you're enjoying certain aspects of someone, but not really seeing them wholly and completely. Right now, all you have is conversation and emotional connection and mental connection.
Which are fundamentals.
Fundamentals. You really get to see and connect and get to know someone. So I'm all for everyone online dating. If you don't like online, well, first of all, I'm going to say get over it. If you don't like it, no one likes it. Right? No one likes it.
Yeah.
I mean, you have children, right?
Yeah.
Did you like did you like the birthing experience?
No, not at all.
So anything we want takes work, takes effort, takes considerable effort. And you think about the rewards that you want and what you're willing to put in. So now I'm encouraging women and men to get out there dating. If you don't like the apps, find another avenue, talk to people, let everyone know you're single, reach out to people every day, join some type of network group online. They've got all kind of social events happening right now. So get yourself out there.
I agree with that. I mean, I come from the, hey, what's your name day, back in the day where a guy would
Oh,
roll
yeah.
up and we're like, woo, he smells good.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
all of this is brand new. I mean, Kwaku and I, we never, virtual online dating, all this stuff happened way after we had gotten together. We've been together forever. So I miss out on all that. But I know a lot of women, and before I go into that, great girlfriends, Angela is a dating expert, and she has an entire method called Conscious Dating Method dedicated to helping us, y'all, those who are interested in having a romantic love relationship in their life, go about the process in a healthy way. And I think that's really great because there's a certain mindset that a woman needs, I feel, to be connected to the person that will love her. And I love that you opened it up to conscious dating. It's like aware dating, like eyes wide open dating. I think a lot of times women want to be the damsel and kind of fall, and then he comes with muscles and he's like, girl, did you fall? Let me pick you up.
It's true, but it's not real. We've been brainwashed in so many ways when it comes to love. And so the conscious dating method, is about debunking all these stories and lies we've been told about love and romance. And, if those other theories and stories work, why are there so many single people wanting a relationship? And even the old school way of dating, there's still so many single people and so many relationships ending in divorce. It's time we get more hardwired for relationship, that we prepare for partnership, that we study partnership, that we study ourselves and study relationship. If that's what you want.
That is so smart. We think about how we use tech to innovate our communication, right? So it's okay in certain areas, but then, when it comes to dating, we don't want to innovate the model. Every model is worth upgrades and innovation and change. You have to be willing to get with it.
This is modern dating. We're living in a modern, complex world. You're either going to get on the train or you're going to get left behind.
Yeah.
Period. You can't bemoan anymore that I don't like online dating. No one likes it.
Yeah.
No one likes it. Yeah. But again, think of the things that you've had to acquire in your life. Mm-hmm. Did you love applying to school in college? Did you love going to class every day in school? Did you love going to, doing your work, looking for a job, building your business? You don't love every moment of that, but you think of the rewards of it. And you do it. You put the effort in, and it takes great effort. So get on the train or on the bus, or you're going to get left behind.
And that fairy tale is real, Angela, because I've had many great girlfriends say that they had this idea of what it would look like and how the guy would come and sweep them and make life happily ever after. And in that storyline, they were just found. I don't know where they were. I don't know what they were doing, but that fairy tale is real. And I think so many women live with that Disney fairy tale in their mind that it's an enchanted experience that
damn Cinderella. It's a lie. All of it are lies, and it's like, it's so ingrained in our being and our psyche that it's not this just enchanting experience. Not to think that your fairy tale is the way you create it to be, but it doesn't look like what it is in the movies. But it doesn't mean it can't be magical and beautiful, because it will be. God is the, ever-present, all-powerful divine love. So when God brings two people together, it will be magical. But getting hung up on the Disney part of it brainwashes us.
So how do we wait? Well, not we, because I'm not dating. I mean, I am dating.
But you can date your husband. Hey, you got to date your husband too. You got to date your husband. It's all conscious dating is dating yourself always.
That's what I was going to ask you. How do we wake up? How do we grow the consciousness? Like how can our great girlfriends just have the awakening that's essential to being available to this, to the new norm of dating?
First, grow the relationship with yourself. That's where it begins. That's where it ends. That's always the most important relationship you can nurture after your relationship with God. For me, I'm a woman of faith. My relationship with God is first. Yeah. But becoming a conscious woman and a conscious dater is about creating a conscious relationship with yourself. Who am I? What do I like? What I don't like? What are my needs? What are my emotional wounds and triggers? How do I show up in relationship? What's the same pattern I'm creating? We can't look and say, oh, all these men out here are this, or all these women out here are this. No, turn the mirror inward. Yeah. It's not an easy, vista to always look at, but you have to look at yourself. Yeah. And that's where the awakening comes from, is looking at yourself with non-judgment, and compassion and loving the parts of yourself that need loving, because you have to love those wounds and those parts of yourself before you can invite someone else to do it.
I think many people are hoping they could just put a little Band-Aid over it and they get it, and no one will see it, and you just kind of keep going.
Yeah, but you're married, so I'm sure you know when you get in a partnership, that partner's tearing off that Band-Aid.
Rip
it. It's going to like, ow, like really? So address those wounds now. Conscious dating is using the time to dating to see the mirror of yourself in relationships, to see where you still need to heal parts of yourself. You can't see those parts just sitting at home, journaling, praying, believing and hoping a relationship's coming. You have to be out there and allow relationships to be your mirror reflection and your teacher and your healer. And that's what dating is.
Hey, great girlfriends. Ladies Night Lifestyles promotes home, glam, and adventure brands. Spill the latest tea and make memories with our cup in hand. Shop today at ladiesnightlifestyles.com. And remember, whether it's ladies' night in or ladies' night out, this is what we're talking about. Again, that's ladiesnightlifestyles.com.
That is so good. You know, what's interesting about that is most of the time, I don't think we realize how we show up in different arenas until you have a chance to get the feedback, right? When women get the feedback, a lot of times they're like, you know, he don't know what he's talking about, or, you know, he just wasn't for me. But some of that feedback is valuable. Not everyone's against you. You know, not true. And everyone's trying to tear you down. That feedback, you know, there's a lot of feedback that I think we shove off as, you know, people being haters or just not being your type. But there's feedback that's valuable towards your
Absolutely.
journey.
And when you have the courage, I recently asked a couple of my exes, like, you know, what would it require for me to be better in my next relationship?
Oh, that is major.
Yeah. What would it require for me to be better in my next relationship? And when you're ready to hear that answer, you'll ask for that feedback.
Wow.
And be willing to look at your own flaws. Ask yourself, what might be getting in the way of me creating what I want? Don't blame social media. Don't blame dating. Don't blame online men. Look at yourself and ask, how am I contributing to my singleness if a partnership is what I really want? You've got to look at those flaws.
Hold on.
You got to look at those flaws.
Hold on, Angela. Not so fast. Wow. That's a powerful question.
Yeah.
Wait, contributing towards my singleness when a relationship is what I really want. That is so
That's
major.
tweetable. Can you send that? Can someone type that?
God.
I love
Somebody
that.
write that down.
Someone type that in there so I can remember that.
Oh my gosh. How am I contributing towards singleness when a relationship is what I really want?
Yeah. So that's the hard look that we have to be willing to take.
That's the question for the day.
That's the question of the day.
That's
it. Know, that is the question. And
what are some examples of that, Angela? Like a person contributing towards their singleness could possibly be showing up how or doing what?
Oh my goodness. It's countless ways of behaviors that we attribute. Are we closed-minded? Are we out there being intentional?
Yeah.
Are we judging ourselves and judging other people? Do we have a wall up? Are we really vulnerable? Are we really open to receive the kind of love we say that we want? Do we give that love to other people? Am I doing, how are you contributing? Are you out there not aligning your actions and your behaviors with what you say you want? Right? And I'm not saying women don't have needs. We don't want to flirt and have other companions. I'm not saying that, but align your actions in the direction of what you say you want. So if a marriage and a partner is what you want, start acting like a wife. Right?
Okay.
And be in commitment and service to God. One of the things I decided, I think it was two years ago, I said, God, I'm partnering with you in everything. You're my business partner. You're my lover, my husband, and I surrender to that. And I vowed that when that partner comes for me, that I have to keep that promise that God still comes before that partner. Because sometimes God doesn't send that partner because they know as soon as that partner comes, prayer stops, meditation stops, time and the word stops.
I ain't gonna see you again. Right. You're gonna be out. Yeah.
And I know God was saying that to me. Look, love sanctuary is gonna disappear if I bring this man to her. So let me just let me make sure she's cemented in this for real. So focus on your purpose and your journey and what you want. And if you're not aligning with the obligations of being in a long-term commitment and really what that looks like, to share yourself, to compromise, are you really aligning yourself with the energy and the intentionality of creating a relationship? It takes work. It takes work. Imagine being with someone all the time that comes home to you, like you're married. I mean, and like you have to see them all the time. I think sometimes as single women, we fantasize about what it's like. But just think about someone with you a lot, and you can't just go to your house and they go to their house. And, single women, how long have you been single? And have you had a roommate in those last few years? Yeah. If you've not lived alone, that's one of the things you've got to really think about.
Yeah.
And are you opening your life to really share it with someone?
That's really good, Angela, because you can have it set up just the way you want it. And then new people are a disruption. They can either get with your program or not. And a lot of times, and they see people as an enemy to whatever their vision is. And part of being a wife is being aligned with the larger vision for the house, which
absolutely
is not just my own. Yeah.
When I was living in Bermuda, I actually had a roommate, and it was the first time I had a roommate in 15 years. But I appreciated every moment of it because I had to learn compromise, sacrifice, dealing with another person, another personality, the energy, the moods, all of that. That's what marriage and having kids is. You've got to deal with other entities, other people who come with a whole new, different onslaught of ideas, upbringing, values, and you've got to negotiate peace in that space. That takes
Angela, yes.
That's no fairy tale.
Yes, that's real.
Fairy tale.
What's interesting, you talk about practicing that and practicing togetherness. I think about how in communication, a lot of times we're dismissive. If we hear something that doesn't align, we have a girl by mindset, which is, I ain't gonna have time for that.
Yeah.
You're not saying what I want to hear, so I'm not gonna listen. And you can't have that in a marriage. No. You have to stay in it until that thing is resolved. Otherwise, it's gonna show up the next day. It's gonna show up in dinner. In bed, it's going to show up.
It's going to show up.
And we practice exiting communication, but not staying in.
Constant communication. And so women, this is the other myth that I like to debunk. Communication is not gender specific.
Yeah.
So women, it's unfair to say that men don't know how to communicate. Yeah. I'm a woman. I coach women. Women struggle with communication just as much as men do.
Yeah.
There's an art form to communication, and it's not gender specific. What women are good at is being expressive with our emotions, but does not always mean that it's communicated in a healthy and positive way. We're in touch with our feelings, but doesn't mean we deliver them in an emotionally intelligent way where they are heard and received to the benefit and the health of the relationship. So,
Angela,
you got women, ladies, if you're listening, if you want a good partner that communicates well, check in with your own communication. Whatever you want him or her to be, you become that to yourself. If you want a man who's a king and or a woman that's a queen, make sure you're a king or a queen to yourself. Make sure you are romancing yourself the way you want to be romanced, that you're honest with yourself, kind, patient. That's conscious dating. It's being who you want to receive in your life. Becoming and less seeking. And when you focus that, even in your marriage, anytime, any relationship, I'm in this to become my greatest. Not
wait, we can't do that. I'm in this to become my greatest.
Hi, Java. Yes, not to have my partner make me my greatest. Like, you're there to elevate one another and help bring out the best, but you've got to be your own best friend, your own best lover. You can't give the responsibility of your happiness, your peace, your validation to another human being. It's not fair, and no one can do that. Yeah. Only God can validate the love that we are seeking. That's it. If you look for a man or a partner to fulfill that void for you or that validation, you will seek your entire life. And marriage and having children will be unfulfilling for you. You'll say, oh, that didn't do it. Marriage didn't fulfill that void I had. What will fill that void is loving yourself, having a relationship with God, and stepping into your divine purpose.
And that's your mic drop? Like, you just gonna drop the mic like...
I got a little tissue here. Mic drop.
That is so good. I'm in this to become my greatest. That's my whole story. You're absolutely, let me tell you something. Because if I had you back when I was out here unconsciously dating, bumping my head, I would have said that that's what I wanted. And now I'm in my marriage 14 years and I'm in it to become my greatest. And it has been that. So I feel the reward of what you just said. I'm in this to become my greatest. That's the mindset that we want to have. Angela, gosh.
Well, because, like, no one else can validate us, and women, we also have to be clear. And I know this is Great Girlfriends. Yeah. So I am speaking to women, right? This is mostly women platform, but you have to be careful what your motivation and impetus is for seeking partnership, and be real and honest with yourself. If you're seeking it from a fear-based mindset, I'm afraid of being alone, I need validation, I'm afraid of dying alone, everyone in my family's married, my girlfriends are married. Those are fear-based motivations for wanting something, and they will create a scarcity mindset. They already start you in the foundation of fear and trying to create a relationship of love. It's misaligned. Mm-hmm. So to create a loving relationship, you have to have a loving foundation. You want to create relationship and partnership to become great, to amplify your greatness that's already there, to amplify your partner's greatness that's already there, to amplify one another's purpose that's already there, to amplify each other's call of service that's already there.
Yeah.
No more fantasizing the rest of it. Yes, emotional support, practical support, but feeling like you need to be loved, you've got to do that work yourself.
Mm-hmm. Something big that I picked up in my life was learning how to sacrifice. I had a question here that a great girlfriend sent in, and this question came out of New Mexico. Cool. Which was that she just said that there's not a lot of great guys in her area, and she met a guy who was in a different state, but she's not willing to move. And I'm like, I don't know. It brought me to the point of the idea of sacrifice, and a lot of times there's
how badly do you want the things that you say that you want, and if you put love in a box, if you limit love, you're limiting your ideas and visions of what you want. Love could be found across the world. Would you not move for that if it is everything you've desired, everything that God wants for you? Are you not willing to move your own mountains for that? If God has moved mountains for you to bring it to you, so be careful on the doors that you shut, and I hear from women in every part of the globe that the men here in my area are no good, or they're this. It can't be that. It can't be that.
Because there are people that are meeting people all the time.
There are people that, and if that's the mindset that you have, that's what you're going to create. You're creating your reality by the thoughts that you keep. So if you think dating online is terrible, that's going to be your experience. If you think there's no men in your area, that's going to be your experience. You might meet someone who's there for a 1-year job transfer or connecting through the airport for work. Open and expand the mind.
Yeah.
Expand it. But here's the thing. Conscious dating is dating with intentionality. It's putting what you want. It's putting the intentionality into what you want. So doesn't mean how and where it's going to come from. Leave that to God. So you may not meet him online. You might meet him some other place, but you're putting the work and the effort and the intention that this is what I want. And then let it magnetize to you from other places or where it's supposed to come from.
Ooh, Angela.
Say what you want, not what you see. Yeah, say what you want and not what you don't want. So many people focus on our energy on, I don't want to be lonely. I'm tired of being alone. I'm sad. And I know that place. I know that energy of sadness. I do. I've been there. But when you feel that, I give you 5 minutes to sit in that space, and that's it. And then after that, you move to, it's coming. I'm believing. I'm hopeful. I'm inspired. I'm putting toward action and creating what I want. And focus on that person that you want to be with.
That's
met my husband, Redlanton.
Yeah.
Exactly. So leave the how to fate and God and divine intervention, but you do the work. God can't move a parked car. So if you're sitting at home just waiting for something to fall out of the sky, you're going to be waiting a long time. And just apply every other area in your life that you've achieved what you wanted and you had strategy. Come up with a strategy with how you're going to meet someone.
That is so true. Angela, one of the things that's so interesting, I was having this conversation with a friend actually, is people get most parts of their life, they can figure it out. But this is the area that they just can't seem to get a handle on how to do it. And this is the area that requires the most openness, the most vulnerability, the curiosity. Like you have to be so unbound if you want to explore what romance can mean to you, because all the past is just data. Again, it's collecting. Those were interns. Those people weren't the ones to take the job.
Absolutely. It's true. 100%.
Don't get caught up on the interns, get the data, learn, but remember, the one who gets the job gets the job. But the interns, that's just, dwelling in the past is going to be the way you always stay there. And I think this is the one area where I feel like people could stand to really do the work.
Do the work.
This class that you offer, Angela.
Yes.
I see a conscious communication class coming. I see that next.
So I do my workshop, which was the workshop I was traveling with around the country. But since COVID, I actually obviously had to eliminate my travel and teaching, but I'm teaching it online. The next one's on May 20th. And that's sort of the introduction to conscious dating. We go over what the principles are, what is about, how you can start dating now with greater intention and with greater strategy. I hold each person accountable to coming up with a strategy. What's your strategy? The reason why we don't have much success in relationships is because we don't practice it like we do everything else. When we want to learn how to play golf, basketball, tennis, become a scientist, we go to school, we study it, we practice it. But relationships, we think it's just a science, a natural behavior, and it's not. Connection is our natural DNA, but relationship take work.
Yeah.
And so we need to study relationships, study ourselves, do the work. So come up with a strategy. So that's the course. And then the 8-week course I've kind of put on hold for now, but there is a segment on communication in that. So communication is everything.
It's everything. And this, I want to, great girlfriends, I want to make sure that you get this information.
Hi, Brandy. He said strategy. Yes,
strategy. Go, ladies, make sure you're following Angela, because here's the catch. Like you said, it's for everyone. So it's not just for single people. It's for people who are married who want to kind of amplify or elevate their relationship, their dating relationship, and have more intention around it, right? So
absolutely.
We can all find our piece of the pie on this one.
I mean, I'm a woman of great intensity and passion. So I'm going to reignite anything and everything in my life all the time. So if you're married and you just want to up-level it and reignite it, the conscious dating method is about everyone, because oftentimes when women and men get married, they start looking to their partner for the things that they once supplied for themselves. So remind yourselves of the things that you did for you that made you happy before you were married. And I know that's hard. I know that identity sort of gets lost in marriage and kids, but find time for that person. Spend time with that person. Connect and engage with that person. Date her. Because the happier you are in dating yourself, your partner is like, yeah. She is like confident again after having kids, and she's glowing and she's loving what she does. You're living for yourself and not for your partner. Your partners want you there, but they don't. If they're there your whole life, you're going to be disappointed all the time. And they're going to feel like they're always letting you down.
That's so true.
So when two people are bringing their own contribution and self-love and feeling good, that's the magic you create together. So if you want to reignite your relationship, date yourself constantly.
Yes.
Constantly. Peel back the layers. Constantly. When your partner brings up wounds and triggers or things that keep showing up, go back and readdress those again. Because the inner child is always there in each of us.
So good. Angela, I know I have to let you go because I got Logan coming up next. But great girlfriends, I'm urging you to follow Angela Holton on Instagram. What's your website, Angela?
LoveSanctuary.com.
So simple. Love Sanctuary. Angela, thank you so much.
Here's the Love Sanctuary. It's right here. My message will always be the same, that this is your inner sanctuary and whatever it is that you want to create in your life.
I love it. I love it.
Thank you for having me.
Thank
Great
you,
girlfriend.
Angela.
You're welcome, ladies. Thank you.
So much love to you.
Great girlfriends, did you enjoy this week's episode of the podcast? If so, would you please give us your amazing review on iTunes? Every single review helps another great girlfriend get plugged into the podcast, into the community. Speaking of community, make sure you join our Facebook group, The Great Girlfriends. You follow us on Instagram at The Great Girlfriends and on Twitter at @the_great_GFS. Last but not least, we'd like to thank my amazing husband, Kwaku, Sam and Dilly, and all of you for being a part of the global community that makes us so strong. Please remember to share with your friends. Keep listening and keep being a great girlfriend. I'm Sybil Amuti, and I'm out. Peace.